It is Thursday, August 13th. It is time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3, and we got a packed show for everybody today. Folks, at 10:30 from MLW, Labron Kozone is going to join us to talk about his time thus far with MLW. He's from North Carolina, so I'll have some North Carolina questions for him. He helped train Javon Evans as well. So LeBron is kind of one of those underrated names who does a lot that maybe you haven't heard of behind the scenes. Maybe we'll ask him if he sets up chairs. And then at 11, author Joey Cassata is set to join us. He wrote the book Wrestler Rankings, a complete year-by-year history. So he went through from 1975 to 2025 and ranked the wrestlers of the year. SP3 knows a thing or two about wrestling and rankings. So we will talk to him about putting this book together and going through the different eras and years of wrestler rankings. We'll have Dynamite to review. We'll have a little bit of New Japan. I'll talk a little bit about Russell Westbrook. SP3, how you doing, buddy?
I am doing splendid. I'm glad to be here on a Thursday, my third day straight this week. I've done 9 days. I'm going to be doing 9 days in 2 weeks for In the Weeds, which is something I think I got to get used to. But I am doing well. I'm glad to talk about some AEW Dynamite, Swerve Strickland return, and the possibility of a new day coming to AEW.
Folks, leave a thumbs up on the video. That helps us out. Subscribe to the channel. Tap the bell for notifications. Leave a super chat. All super chats this week going to C4 fighting back the Canadian Cancer Society. So send a super chat. Help us fight cancer because it's F cancer. I'm trying to curse 2 minutes in. Yes. It's F cancer as always. So all super chats going there. Let's jump right into it. Let's be there. Usually we don't jump right into the wrestling talk like this, but we might be. Did Joel get a huge haul from Tony Khan to auction off? Did I miss this? Is this a real thing, Grace? Hold on. Let's go to Joel's Twitter here and see what happened. He didn't tell us about this.
It's like he didn't say a damn word to us.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah, he didn't say, okay. Oh, okay. It's C4 did say, I said, we have an exciting package to share with you all. Thanks to AEW and Joel Pearl for making it happen. So an AEW prize pack consisting of AEW live show package, 4 tickets to any Dynamite or Collision, autographed ring-used hockey helmet used by Ciampa against Jericho from the Redemption match.
Nice.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I mean,
awesome.
Did he get the glasses? That's all I care about.
I don't think he got the glasses. I think that's why he got everything else.
Oh, well, I mean, the glasses are all that matters, right?
Oh God.
That's good. Good job by Joel.
Great job by Joel.
Getting that. Yeah. Autographed Tommaso Ciampa helmet. That's pretty sweet. I'd actually bid on that. That's and dope. Then 4 tickets to Dynamite or Collision. That's
sweet.
That's pretty
sweet
good
deal.
Yeah. I still want the glasses.
Oh God. Will you stop with the glasses?
I should have asked last night. You know who messaged me last? I should have just asked last night.
Why did he message you?
Do you not read the group chat, SP3? Read the group chat right now. Read it on air. Check the group chat.
No.
You should probably do this. There's important.
Unless I get tagged. Unless I get tagged, I don't know if it's.
We're not going to tag you in the group chat. There's important show information as far as like.
Hey, if I want to get your attention, I still have that part. If I want to get your attention, then I would tag you. That's what I would do. I did see we had guests today. I did see that part. And then the bomb.
Did you not see that last night?
No, I did not.
Okay. Amazing.
That is amazing. That is amazing that he knows the bit.
Should I say this on air? I don't think it matters, right?
I don't think it matters.
Okay. So everyone knows my bit of. I mean, it's a rule at this point. everyone knows if a show ends in a DQ, I'm not going to review it. It literally happened on Tuesdays in NXT. It ended in a DQ. I did not review NXT yesterday. SP3 did the entire review. I tweeted after the show. NXT ended in a DQ. You know what that means. That was my tweet. Dynamite happens last night. Dynamite ends 10:25-ish, give or take, right?
Yeah.
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 35. A certain president of a certain wrestling company messages me and says, Dynamite did not end in a DQ. You know what this means.
That's hilarious. That is
he will not be on the show today. I did ask. He will not be
Of course you did. Of course you did.
I was like, you joining us today?
He's like, you hit me up. I'm going to ask.
I was like, you joining us today? He will not be joining the show today. We had a nice little exchange after that, but it's so like
he's got to come on for All In Week. That should be the thing.
I think he might. I'll ask him. Yeah. Like, clearly we have a good relationship after all.
You have a good rapport.
Yeah, it's so funny that 10 minutes after Dynamite ends, he's DMing bits, like my bits to me. He's messaging me about it. No. I was talking to my wife about this, and I was just like, she's like, he knows your bits. I was like, yeah, that's a little like
a little scary.
Yeah, a little scary that like he knows the gimmick. Yeah,
he's watching.
Yeah.
So next time he comes on, I'm gonna ask him the question that everybody wanted me to ask him the last time.
What question was that? I don't remember.
Does he know who Jimmy Macaron is?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he bless that man. Bless him.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does know.
I wouldn't either. Nah, so the president of this wrestling company, we'll not say his name, is fantastic. Do we think Tony Khan watched Joey? I hope not. And we're gonna ask him who were the top 5 drinkers during the COVID era for this show.
Top 5 drinkers. Let us know.
Oh man. All right, we're gonna jump into Dynamite. We do have a couple of super chats that actually fit into the conversation here that we're gonna kick off with. I have a poll question on the ball this week, although I think I missed Monday with the poll question, but otherwise 2 out of 3 days ain't bad. I do have a poll question. Poll question is New Day in AEW. I'm trying to think how to frame this. I know what the question is. How about this? What do you want to see? I should say New Day align with Swerve, New Day versus Bucks. So that's going to be which one of those two do you want to see? They can both happen, but
that can't happen at All In.
No, not All In. So here's kind of my I'll explain here. It seems like based on what happened last night and based on what we're going to talk about, New Day is going to come in and align with Swerve, right?
Yeah.
Which means it's not going to be an immediate program with the Bucks, like a lot of people I think wanted. So
I think they could.
Oh, I think if they align with Swerve, they're going to do the trio stuff with the Demand and Hangman.
I seem to be the only person who online or here that believes that we're not getting that trios title match at All In.
I don't think it's happening at All In either.
Okay, cool.
No. I'm not like, this is not All In specific. This is like first thing New Day does specific, because they come in, they align with Swerve. They're not going to face the Bucks first thing, right?
No.
Yeah, so that's basically what I'm asking. What do you want to see? I'll say first to try to better clarify for people who might be jumping in late. And what do you want to see first? New Day with Swerve or New Day with Bucks? Like, if you had your option, first thing New Day does coming to AEW.
I thought the other option would be New Day versus FTR. because the Bucks already have some. It seems already obvious from what has been reported and what we saw last night. New Day's coming in for All In. So if we're asking the question, what does New Day do first? It has to be something that they can do at All In. Like, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're thinking, that could be one of their first programs, but it seems pretty obvious after last night they're coming in at All In. So what could be one of the first things they do? It's either align with Swerve or have a tag team matchup outside of Swerve. So
okay,
I'm putting them versus FTR or aligning with Swerve.
I'm putting New Day, Bucks, FTR, New Day versus Bucks, FTR, Motor City Machine Guns. Basically, do you want them in the trios division with Swerve, or do you want them in the tag division? How about that? Is that simpler?
Yeah, just fit trios or tag.
Maybe that's a little bit easier for everybody. I'm not doing trios or tag. I'm doing it this way. That's the poll question, everybody.
You rather the more difficult way.
Yes, I'm gonna make things difficult. This is what we do.
This is what we do.
This is what we do. A couple of super chats here. Meet Normus. Pal Meet Normus says, good morning, brubs. Swerve and the New Day will be trios champs by the end of the year. Auntie Pam is on the way. Maybe Motor City Machine Guns versus FTR. We're eating good. Do Motor City Machine Guns still exist in this company? Are we positive?
Yeah, they do.
They're still
they just have not mentioned them at all on Dynamite, which seems to be a running bit of things that happen on Collision just happen on Collision. They don't happen on Dynamite. We had the Hangman return that wasn't mentioned for 2 weeks on Dynamite after his return on Collision, and now we're 2 weeks in of the Motor City Machine Guns debuting, and it still hasn't been mentioned on Dynamite. Last week was one thing. Last week was, I thought, was okay because you were more focused on match. Your Grand Slam Mexico was a special. Last night there was no excuse. You had room for a 30 to 60 second video package to be like, Motor City Machine Guns are here.
I don't know. It's so funny that they just like have not mentioned it on Dynamite. And Ryan says Swerve Trench, and isn't it Tretch? Is it Tretch? Trench?
Trench.
Shrek?
I thought it was Tretch or TRTH TCH.
Trek? Tech?
Tretch.
Trep?
Whoever that guy with the dreads was.
Swerve, that guy, and Parker Boudreaux against Hangman and Brodito at All In. What a group that was for Swerve.
What a unit. What a unit.
Yeah.
What was it? Mogul?
Mobile Embassy, right?
No,
Mobile Affiliates. Is it Mobile Affiliates?
Yeah. It was Mogul Affiliates and then Mogul Embassy.
Yeah. What absolutely amazing that group. Our guest is here early, which is fine, but it says device is not connected. I don't know if he can hear us, but we have to be able to pop you on screen, LeBron. So we shall see if if it doesn't get fixed here shortly. I'll message MLW and be like, hey, can we get this cleared up? So we'll see. So yes, Swerve returned last night. Hangman was 2 seconds into his speech and he was so happy. And then Swerve's music hit.
He was about to speak Espanol.
Yeah.
He even asked permission for a white boy to speak Espanol.
Yeah. And then Swerve's music hit. And Swerve came out and he talked about how he was the connection to everybody. Talked about his history with Bandito, his history with Brody, and obviously his history with Swerve. Then they were interrupted by Ricochet and The Demand. And Ricochet was like, there's only one of you. And there's like 4 of them. And there was like 6 of them. Like the numbers were all over the place here. There was only one side with Swerve. And he told Swerve to leave. And the most dangerous man in AEW just left. He called him a bitch. I mean, I got to put a ban on the word bitch across all promotions.
It's overused.
Yeah,
it's a crutch now.
Yeah, we need to ban this word for at least a month. Bitchless September. That's what we're doing.
Only Okada is allowed because that's his
fair.
catchphrase.
No bitches September.
And
sponsored
Tekla.
by Cam Hawkins
and Tekla because it's a different type of bitch.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, dumb bitches. Yeah, I'm okay with that one. We got to give somebody. I guess Natty can use it in WWE. Somebody, at least one person, WWE's got.
She never uses it and uses it right. It always feels forced.
Nobody in WWE uses it right.
To be fair, yes, yes, that is true.
Maybe, who in WWE gets? If AEW gets two people, Jade. Okay.
Kevin Owens.
KO. All right, I'm not mad at that. No bitches September is what we're calling this. All right. So Swerve leaves, calls him bitch, and then we're setting up the trios match the rematch between Hangman and Brodito against the Demand. Hangman and Brodito, I mean, they're gonna lose to Lethal Swirl on Saturday. My guy Blake Christian.
No, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Why not?
Because it's the Lethal Swerve.
They could win. They have only
beaten Skyflight in trios competition on AEW television.
They are former 1/6 of the trios champions.
That was for like 7 days.
Still counts.
I don't really think that that's something to brag about. So
still longer than the Dog's reign, which is the greatest trios titles reign of all time.
To be fair, maybe you're right there, but hey.
What'd you make of this segment, and then of the potential of New Day coming in to be Swerve's partners here?
Well, like when the report came out from Fightful Select that Swerve would be returning soon, and that it could possibly be on tonight's show, and then I saw the lineup, the new additions to the lineup, because we knew about 4 matches as of this time yesterday for Dynamite, and then around the afternoon, late afternoon, they started announcing more stuff. And as soon as they announced a Hangman and Brodito promo segment, I was like, oh, there you go. That's where Swerve's coming back. And I was like, oh, there we go. I think that's where the New Day comes in. So I thought I initially was like, okay, there's going to be an angle to set up Swerve and 2 mystery partners versus Hangman and Brodito at All In. But then we got the Demand and Lethal Twist coming out, which basically leads me to think that we're getting what has become like the signature or the staple of AEW pay-per-views, the big multi-man brawl match, maybe a stadium stampede or some type of stipulation where it's going to be Demand and Lethal Twist versus Hangman, Brodito, Swerve, and the New Day at All In. That's what I think they're going to go to. I rather the trios title match, honestly. I feel that's a lot cleaner and will offer more of like I don't know if it'll be a better matchup. I think all those guys are great. If you did do a 12-man tag with all those guys, it would be something so different from the rest of the card that it would stand out. But I just want to see a trios matchup of Swerve, Kofi, and Austin Creed versus Hangman and Brodito. That just sounds like something that would take this All-In card over the top. Will a stadium stampede with the New Day do that? Yeah, sure. But I don't think it allows New Day to stand out as much with 10 other guys in the matchup. But I this was probably the most intriguing or noteworthy segment of the show. The show up to that point didn't have a lot of punchy kind of segments that made you kind of be like, oh man, I'm really looking forward to that at All In. They had some solid build to stuff towards All In, whether it was the Continental Cup, whether it was the Casino Gauntlet, or whether it was the opening segment. But this felt like, oh, okay, something happened on this show. Swerve's return. Swerve is now in the trios title scene. The trios title scene is now freaking star-studded because you got 2 former AEW world champions going at it. You got Ricochet, who's one of the top heels, whether you like it or not, in the company, kind of leading the other squad. So there's some stars here that will get attention, will get TV time on a weekly basis, thus elevating the trios division. And yeah, I do agree with the chat. Last night's crowd was Fresno, California level of bad.
Does Vegas, I get pay-per-views is one thing, but like, does Vegas have good crowds typically for shows?
On occasion, I've heard great Vegas crowds. Like the first Double or Nothing was a great Vegas crowd.
Yeah, pay-per-views, I'm gonna, it's a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
Like, especially the first Double or Nothing and, like, the subsequent Double or Nothing. Like, they're gonna be excited for that. I feel like Vegas crowds, like, for just regular shows is kind of I don't know. I was like, I know, like, the TNA shows in Vegas typically are not
yeah, they don't
great
have
when it
the
comes
best
to
crowd.
reactions.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, our guest is here, so we're gonna put a pause on Dynamite. Everything is connected. Everything is good to go here. He is, excuse me, some of my throat this morning. He's from MLW, one of the newest signings of MLW, signed earlier this year. MLW is going to be in Charleston, South Carolina on September 12th. He is the one, the only Labron Kozone. Labron, how you doing, man?
How's it going, guys? Doing all right.
Hey, what's going on?
Appreciate you joining us here this morning. Let's start off with just how's everything been going in MLW? How you been enjoying your time there?
Oh, everything's going great at MLW. First major company to really take a real chance on me. So, I've been very appreciative of every opportunity that's, been thrown my way. Hopefully I've been able to knock them out the parts, for the enjoyment of the viewers.
So you've been really kind of grinding and making your name as one of like the best independent wrestlers in the world over the last couple of years. Kind of tell us what's been kind of the difference in the last year or so where you've gotten even more attention and now going to MLW and getting a bigger spotlight there.
Yes, I've been very fortunate to wrestle all around the world. Uh, you know, Starting from my run at Deadlock Pro Wrestling, been able to see more than North Carolina, from Jersey to Chicago to Texas to California. Recently I was in Canada, been across seas to Japan and Germany, so I've been very blessed and very fortunate to see a lot of the world. And even with MLW, I'm tapping into places that I've never got to perform at, like, uh, you know, different cities like South Carolina. I'm a North Carolina guy, so South Carolina is really cool.
I'm from North Carolina as well. I got some North Carolina questions for you here a little bit later on. But first, I want to ask you, speaking of North Carolina, I want to ask you about this quote. This is from Javon Evans, who you know. This was in, let me check the date on. This was in April. He said this. He was asked about a potential dream match here. And he said, outside of that, Greensboro, North Carolina, my trainer, Labron Kozone, he's so underrated. He got me and Jackson Drake to where we're at right now. If I could pay it back to him and have a WrestleMania match, that would be a great dream opponent for me. What goes through your mind when you hear Javon Evans say something like that?
I mean, it honestly makes me tear up. I had to tell him, don't ever think that you have to pay anything back. He does it every day by doing it just by being who he is, by lacing up his shoes and keep stepping in the ring and proving to the world that he is the best wrestler in the world. Same thing with Jackson Drake. Even with the training school here in Greensboro, I had plenty of people, they sign up to the school, and I put out a questionnaire, how'd you find out about our training facility? And the most common answer is the guys that are doing their thing on TV. So they're already paying it back. Of course that'd be a dream match. Is actually it's a match he was wanting before he went off and went down to Florida, but we never had to got the chance to do a proper singles match like we wanted. We have years ago, back when he was younger, maybe 14, 15 years old. But yeah, love my guys to death.
So I'll ask you the same question they gave Javon. Outside of a Javon Evans one-on-one matchup, what would be your dream match in wrestling right now?
That's really hard to put a finger on. I've been fortunate to wrestle a lot of people that I look up to. So it's really on the spot. I really can't really think of much of anybody other than personal childhood favorites. Like I've always been a Hardy Boy guy growing up. So just guys like that. The ones who I've admired when I was younger.
Did you have a welcome to wrestling moment, whether it's something like in the ring, something before the show, after the show, where so I guess how I'm trying to set this up is there's there's a lot of like welcome to the NBA moments for rookies of like, oh man, I was guarding LeBron James and he put me on a poster, something. Was there some type of like welcome to wrestling moment for you, like sharing the ring with somebody or whatever it might be?
No, I don't. I really don't think so. I kind of took everything in, and every little thing was magnified to me. I started training at the age of 15, and I was originally trained by a man named Big Daddy Eric Edwards. He's been in the local industry for about 5 years. Not a lot of people know who he is, but he was the man that welcomed me in, and just to be able to sit beside him in a pro wrestling locker room at that age at the first time, and to seeing him put on his pro wrestling boots that I'd never seen before in person was just so mind blowing to me. It's like I've only seen this in the video games. I've only seen it on my action figures. I've only seen it in the Mickey Rourke, the wrestler movie that just came out in 2008. So it's just to be there and breathe it, was just surreal for me. And ever since then, I've really, really been tuned into professional wrestling.
So, what do you think? Do you kind of instill in your students when training? Because you talk about your training and your background and seeing all the success that you have, as well as Jackson Drake and Javon Evans. What do you think is kind of that key thing that you try to teach everybody that you train?
One is perfection. Two is never give up. Just it's very cliche, but people really don't understand how difficult wrestling is. And when I say difficult, I don't mean physically. A lot of people can do what we do physically. There's a lot of athletically talented people, but the hard part is how do you respond when your best friend gets put in a big situation, but you don't? How because it's a lot more than becoming the best, but it's how you deal with people in this industry. And then everything being under a microscope, especially in today's industry where everything's being recorded, everything's being documented, and all it takes is one thing to just sends you off spiral. So being able to handle what you do in life and in wrestling, not just the physical aspect, but the mental aspect, the emotional aspect, and through it all, just keep going.
I want to ask you about it was one of his last independent matches, Jake something against you for Deadlock Pro Wrestling, their 4th anniversary show at the end of last year, I believe last December, 2025. Fantastic match. What was it like being in the ring with Jake something, and then what was the reaction kind of after the match? And like, did you guys know like, yeah, we went out there and that was something special?
I love Deadlock Pro Wrestling very much. That was the last show that they did.
That's right. Yeah.
That match is very special to me. I love Jake something. He is phenomenal wrestler. Had a lot of good times, even going to Japan. Just anytime me and Jake's in the ring is always It's always a good showdown. We've probably been in the ring maybe 4 times, and every single one of those has been a blast. You know, I was very shocked by a lot of it. You know, it was kind of when we heard the news about it closing down. I know I didn't see it coming. You know, so mentally, emotionally, it was very tough because nobody knew what their future held was gonna go. And then it's like all the pressure of like you're the main event of of the last DPW show. In my mind, it was the best promotion in the world. So it's a lot of pressure to go on like that. And in spite of what happens and how things go, when the bell rung, and then I see people on their feet, jumping up and down with tears in their eyes, it's like, yeah, it was very rewarding. And just to have that moment with Jake and with the locker room and with the promoters after that, I couldn't write it. It was just something you had to be there to feel.
Do you still have the belts?
I do. I have both.
Oh, nice. I don't know if they made you give those back. I mean, you are the last champions, so yeah. That's pretty sweet. Go ahead.
They hang out under my nightstand.
Oh, okay. All right. That's a flex. That's a flex.
Yeah, that is a flex. But like talking to you, you could tell how much like you love and appreciated that time at Deadlock Pro. They're kind of looking at, you got the fans in the chat saying like Deadlock Pros is going to be sorely missed. What do you want the fans to? How do you want the fans to remember DPW like years later, years down the road?
I mean, it was something special. And just telling those guys, like, I've been in the industry for a long time, and it's just like there's a lot of different wrestling promotions out there, but they lack that one thing, and it's really, I can't put into words, that really drives a promotion to mainstream. And I feel like a lot of that is the people. They had the people on their side, which is a beautiful thing. Deadlock should be remembered as the promotion that really changed people's lives. A lot of the guys that had their first big run in Deadlock ended up doing a lot of great things in a lot of major companies in the world. And, we talk about Jake something, we see where he's doing, where he's at. We talk about Javon Evans and Jackson Drake, who both had some runs at Deadlock, and we see where they're at. And you talk about me, wrestling for MLW. In my opinion, MLW is the fastest rising pro wrestling company in the world right now. That decision was not a selfish decision on myself. Of course, I want to be most effective. You look at the landscape of wrestling. I feel like MLW was the smartest thing, not just for me, but for a lot of my students that are still local with me, has already received a lot of opportunity with MLW. So it's just I like to think of is that promotion that changed the game for a lot of us.
Ever gone crabbing with Court Bauer?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever gone crabbing with Court Bauer?
Not yet, but
okay.
It sounds fun.
He was on our show, and he was mid crabbing when he joined us. So I didn't know if he was just hanging out with wrestlers and taking them crabbing and everything. Have you tried the Don Gato tequila yet?
No, because I seen what it does to a lot of people after they chug it down. That's the part you don't see. Like, they show the guys chugging the drink after their match, but you don't see them in the locker room. So, yeah.
Oh, you don't have to name names, so can we get a story here?
Nah, man. It's not in my place.
That's fair. I do have to ask. Go ahead.
I heard a lot of good things about it for the real drinkers out there, so definitely give it a try.
I do have to ask North Carolina a specific question. What's your cookout order?
It varies. It depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Fair.
If I'm really, if I haven't been eating a lot of chicken, which is very rare because I eat chicken every day, I'll get me either a club style or cheddar style chicken sandwich tray. If I've been eating a lot of chicken and I still want to fill up, I'll get me a steak style burger. If I'm just there and I'm not really that hungry, I'll get me a chicken strip tray. Love the fried okra. If the cookout has okra, I'll get that. Maybe a quesadilla, Cajun fries. Never get regular fries, guys. Get you some Cajun fries. And if you're not familiar, try their Chihuahua floats. Chihuahua floats is very good.
Oh, yeah.
If you like, if you got a sweet tooth. I'm not a big fan of the milkshakes. The Chihuahua floats has just as much ice cream in it, and it's a little bit cheaper than the milkshake. So yeah,
dropping knowledge.
My cookout suggestions. But don't think I eat cookout every day. I know I'm very descriptive. I used to work at cookout. So yeah, don't eat cookout every day. But yeah, that's my cookout order.
All right, and do you have a Bojangles order as well?
Yeah. So I went a long time, and still to this day, I don't eat a lot of pork. And I love Bojangles breakfast. So it's the egg and cheese biscuit, and love their fries. Always ask for extra seasoning.
Yeah.
I'll get me maybe an unsweet tea.
Unsweet.
Like
hold on.
I'm a sicko, dude.
You're killing me. You're killing me with the unsweet tea here.
Hey, brother, don't knock it till you try it.
I've tried it. I'm knocking it. I'm knocking it.
So I used to hate tea. My dad used to make it all the time. I used to hate it. And then I started working for Cookout, where you had to start making tea, and then it has to taste just right. So when I started tasting the tea that I made, I developed a taste for it, for the tea taste. Now I love my dad's tea, and just, I realize how much sugar goes into tea, and I know what sugar that does. And me, I'm okay with eating for health. I was plant-based for 4 years. I went without eating meat. So, just eating for health reasons, like, it doesn't bother me a bit. So yeah, I'll drink unsweet tea in the morning with those extra seasoning fries and an egg and cheese biscuit.
All right, I can't knock the health portion of this. I'm still unsweetened tea. Oh, I live in Ohio now. I lived in North Carolina for the majority of my life, and like, I ask for sweet tea here in Ohio, and it's the most unsweetened thing in the world. I was like, I can't do it. I've drank just complete sugar tea for my entire life, so I can't do just unsweet tea.
Maybe they didn't mean to give you unsweet tea, because
that's just how it is here in Ohio. They don't know the difference between sweet and unsweet tea. From the South, we know what sweet tea is. Like you said, it's like 90% sugar. We know what sweet tea is.
They literally take the whole bag.
Yes.
Dump it.
That's what I want, though.
I'm not exaggerating.
No, it's like the Kool-Aid in House Party when they just pour the sugar.
100.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. I can't do their version of sweet tea. It's not for me. Go ahead, SP3.
Well, you say you're a chicken guy, and that's my preferred food of choice. What type of chicken guy are you? What pieces do you get? What's your preferred pieces?
They don't sponsor me. I like to get my rotisserie chicken from Sprouts. That's a grocery store. No GMO. None of that extra BS. Rotisserie chicken I can eat every single day. If I get tired of it, I just change my sauce. Go to, they got different variations of buffalo sauce, different variations of barbecue sauce, but that's what I eat. A lot of rotisserie chicken, a lot of good ones.
That's a good choice.
Mm-hmm. LeBron, we're gonna get you out of here on this. We play a game on the channel. It's called Partner Promo Punch in the Face. I'm gonna give you 3 names. Pick one to partner with, one to promo against. Ones you punch in the face, basically have a match with. All right, you ready? You ready for this one? All right,
let's do it.
We're gonna go North Carolina style on this one. We're gonna go Javon. We're gonna go Jackson Drake, and we're gonna go Cedric Alexander for your 3 choices there.
All right, punch in the face. Probably Cedric. What was the other?
Javon Evans and Jackson Drake.
And you said partner?
Partner, promo, punch in the face. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll probably have to partner with Jackson. And then I'll probably go. I got a lot to say about Malachi.
LeBron, we appreciate you joining us here today. Let everybody know where they can find you at and what you got going on.
Yes, you can watch me on YouTube. Very accessible. You don't have to pay a bunch of fees for any streaming services to watch me do my thing at my very best on MLW on Saturdays. Catch me versus Joe Coffey coming up. A lot more great matches to come. If you enjoy my work, definitely tune in to MLW. If you just want to follow me, very easy. Just search Kozone, LeBron Kozone. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter. That's about it. But yeah, just that's where to find me.
And we appreciate you joining us, guys. MLW Fusion 605 YouTube Saturday. Check it out. It's also on Veeps. It's also on BN Sports. It's also on New Japan World. Very accessible to watch MLW Fusion every single week. MLW is going to be in Charleston, South Carolina on September 12th. Tickets are low as $10 for this show. So very, very affordable to get in. LeBron, thank you for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day, man.
Yes, sir. Likewise. Thank you.
Thanks, man. There you go, folks. LeBron Kozone joining us. Everyone go check him out. I know he had WWE tryouts earlier this year as well. So a lot of people are very high on LeBron. And like I was mentioning off air, he's one of those names that is kind of under the radar and underrated out there. And I don't think underrated is a term that, just kind of means that everyone knows this person is good. They're just not getting the recognition they deserve from a lot of people. And he's definitely starting to get that recognition, which is good to see. And yeah, go check out that match. I'm sure you could still get it. Go check out that match against Jake Something from the last DPW show as well. Because that was one of Jake Something's last independent matches. I'd forgotten it was the last DPW event because I think they wanted to run an event in Japan to start the year, but I don't know if they actually did because I don't remember hearing much about it. But yeah, that was their last certainly United States event. So yeah, definitely go check that out.
And he's really been like everywhere. Like I remember I was watching the West Coast Pro event from WrestleMania weekend that had the Chris Hero matchup and stuff, and I saw him on there, and like he was on numerous shows throughout WrestleMania week. He's like I said, he's been earned the name as one of the best independent wrestlers in the world. So I'm glad to see him go over to MLW, and that's a great acquisition for MLW, and it's what we ask for a lot of these different companies. Like so much of the names that are moving between the major companies are people that were in WWE before, or someone that was in AEW before going to WWE. So it's great to see independent talent that have been making their name and making that a place for people to want to go see, and are now getting that transition into bigger promotions.
Unsweetened tea, though.
That was it. That was it for you.
That's tough. I respect the health aspects of that. I can understand that. I do think like if I was trying to, be a pro wrestler or be in the type of shape that he's in, I probably couldn't do all that sugar all the time like I do now. I'm not trying to be like that. I'm like, yeah, give me all the sweet tea in the world. I'm good out here. Yeah, we found Jeremy's line. Yeah, I can't. I say I don't know how people do unsweetened tea. Like I
can't do it, but to each his own.
My mother-in-law will get unsweetened tea, and then she'll cut it with water. Like she thinks that it's still too sweet of unsweetened tea, and I'm like, what are we doing? But she's been in Ohio like her entire life, so
that's fair.
This ain't sweet tea up here.
I do though cut my water on certain like juices because I just drink strictly like juice or water, so I cut the juice with water. It's actually better.
I ain't cutting any type of anything with water. I ain't doing. I drink a lot of water. I mean, it's practically all I drink: water and coffee. But I'm cutting sweet tea, unsweet tea, any of that stuff with water.
Hey,
He's
lemonade actually tastes better with a little bit of water added.
Lemonade, okay, all right. Unsweetened tea and you add lemon juice to it. Y'all need to stop.
Oh, that's a little much.
It's sweetened. It's just lemon tea at that point. I don't want that. Y'all have terrible tea takes, by the way.
Terrible tea takes.
Absolutely awful tea takes. I'm getting tea messages from people now.
People are bombarding you with their tea.
They actually are. They actually are. People are messaging me about like, have you tried this kind of tea and that kind of tea? I'm like, stop it. Just give me Bojangles sweet tea. That's all I care about. That's what I want. Bubble tea is good. I deal with the bubble tea. We have a Chinese place right up the street that does a really good bubble tea. So I'm not mad at that, but it's not the same as just like, sweet tea or anything. I'm not a big boba tea person. I'm not like kind of that, but yeah, bubble tea isn't bad. Some people think it's the same. I feel like there's a difference though between bubble tea and boba tea. Yeah, I need to ask Tony about what's his favorite.
What's his tea? What's his tea preference?
Yeah.
His tea take.
I don't think Tony's only coffee. That's all he drinks. He doesn't drink anything.
Knowing Tony, yeah, that's probably all he drinks.
Yeah. We're set to be joined by Joey Cassata at 11. He did the book Wrestler Rankings, year-by-year history from 1975 to 2025. Yeah, Money Mark's got it. Bojangles tea, y'all can keep the rest. Exactly. That's what it is. Yeah. I don't know what sun tea is. No, I don't think I've had sun tea.
It's sweet tea, but you just like you stick it out and I get bruised in the sun.
Oh. That sounds dumb.
Like,
that sounds dumb.
But I don't have the tea palette that you have.
I saw Sprite tea at the store. I want to try it just for like posterity's sake. Of like, all right.
This is way too much conversation about tea for me.
This is tea time. Tea time with Jeremy and SP3 in the tea.
This is definitely tea time with Jeremy.
Do we have a teapot? Yeah, so I'll just set up a teapot on here. Sprite tea is the worst thing ever created. Ew. Cut Sprite tea with Malor? No, that sounds terrible. We got to get you on the tea train here, SP3.
So anyway, Dynamite last night. The show kicked off with Will Ospreay coming out, cutting a promo. He talked about his how he was in Arena Mexico last week and last year when he was on his way to Arena Mexico. His mother let him know that his grandfather had passed away, and then he was all sad and he was distraught. But then he picked himself back up, thinking about what his grandfather would have told him. Is like, "Oh, what you doing here crying? Go in the ring and go do some flips or something." And that's what he did. And that's what he did last week when he beat Mark Davis in a Mexico City street fight. But you know who wasn't there in Mexico City? It was Kenny Omega. But since Kenny Omega is here tonight, he called him out, and that brought out Don Callis. Callis went over his history with Omega and Ospreay, saying that he was the reason Omega won the AEW World Championship in the first place. Then he aligned himself with Ospreay, and he was the only reason why Ospreay was able to beat Omega. And now he's not even gonna make it to All In because it's gonna be paved. All In, the road to All In is going to be paved in his blood as the Don Callis family attacked Will Ospreay, and he was saved by none other than Kenny Omega. Omega came out with a pipe. He laid out all the Don Callis family members. Then he cut a promo on Will Ospreay, telling him the truth yet again, saying, "I warned you about Jon Moxley. Hell, I warned you about Don Callis. Hell, I'm going to warn you about the guy that's running around here calling himself the real world champion as well." He was like, "I'm going to keep warning you, but..."
One true champion.
No, he said one. He said he's walking around
I think
like
Kenny,
the real world champion.
Yeah, I think Kenny said real world champion, but
Yeah, he said real world champion.
I'm going to take MJF's side and
No,
correct
he
the
said
record.
he said real world champion, so that's what I'm gonna go with. So yeah, he said real world champion, and then he basically picked up Ospreay, and Ospreay told him that he didn't ask for his help and he doesn't need it, and he'll see him at Wembley.
I don't need Don Callis family Will Ospreay stuff going into All In. I'm sorry.
I don't need any of these. I don't need Death Riders or the Don Callis family to push a Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay feud. But apparently, this is how we're wasting time till All In. It was fine for what it was, but the crowd, it sucked right from the beginning, and I was just like, this is not going to be a good night.
Is this what happens in Dragon Ball Z with Goku and Vegeta? Do Pikachu and Squirtle attack Vegeta?
Piccolo? You mean Piccolo?
I don't know Dragon Ball Z. I'm doing Pokemon
try your best,
crossover. I'm doing Pokemon crossover with this. Did they get attacked by people who are not relevant to the story? And then Vegeta has to save Goku.
I kind of agree with King Potate in the chat. The crowd to me is what made this segment not hit on the level that it could have.
I don't know if this segment was gonna hit on a higher level.
If the crowd reacted to it, I think it would have been a very good segment. But they didn't.
Nah. Thus
the segment kind of died.
I did like,
and they got to come up with a hot angle in the next 2 weeks before the show, because promos are great, but you need an angle.
I did like Kenny's delivery and content. I will say I thought Kenny was very good in this segment.
His slow draw delivery as a subtle heel, I think you could call him on the road to All In. He's a subtle heel. It's really good. His delivery is really good.
Yeah. All right, folks. We are joined by our second guest of the day. He is an author. He wrote the book Wrestler Rankings, a complete year-by-year history, 1975 to 2025. It is available now on Amazon for people to get. He is Joey Cassata. Joey, how you doing today?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Good. We appreciate you. We appreciate you joining us here. First off, just tell everybody a little bit about the book and kind of what went into putting this all together.
Yeah, so the book, I'm a big wrestling fan my whole life. Wrestling magazines growing up to me were everything. I didn't have cable TV. I lived in New York. I was very limited access. I had WWF television growing up. So the wrestling magazines is where I lived and learned about the other territories. You know, I had WWF television, but I wanted to know about NWA, AWA, Florida Championship Wrestling. So I lived in those wrestling magazines. So for years, I've just been obsessed with wrestling magazines. And about a year and a half ago, I tried to just go back, and my favorite part of the wrestling magazines were the wrestling rankings. You know, who was the champions of every federation, and who was the number one contenders, and who was the most hated and the most popular. And I went back to try to find some kind of all-encompassing encyclopedia to show me the history of all these rankings. I figured it had to be written somewhere. And to my surprise, it wasn't written. And, you know, I looked and I looked and I couldn't find anything. I found like little things here and there, but I decided, you know what, if it's not out there, I'm going to write it. So this is my book right here, Wrestling Rankings. It's available on Amazon. It literally is 50 years of all the rankings compiled from all the, especially the Apter magazines. If anyone knows what the Apter magazines were, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, Inside Wrestling, The Wrestler, all that stuff. And then I also used a lot of other news outlets and WWF magazine, Victory magazine, WCW magazine, all the stuff throughout the ages to kind of compile everything in one place for everyone to really enjoy. You know, to me, it was always nostalgic running back and see my friends and say, hey, why is this guy the most hated? And he would yell at me, no, he should be the most hated. So it's a fun debate book.
Very nice. You just talked to my heart because you said you're from New York and you frequent wrestling magazines. I'm from New York, and I used to visit when I was a kid. I used to go to 86th Street right on the east side, where they used to have the corner with all the magazines, and I used to hustle my mom into getting me like 3-4 magazines every week from 86th Street. So I am right up your alley. I'm right the viewers or the audience that you want for this book. So kind of what was kind of your kind of frequent places in New York to go get magazines, and like kind of tell us a story about like one time where you discovered a magazine that you might not have known about previously.
Sure. So I grew up in Brooklyn. I lived in Manhattan for in my teen years as well, but I grew up in Brooklyn. So Brooklyn, the only place to get anywhere, the only reason to go anywhere is to ride your bikes. So me and all my friends would be on our bikes, riding from newsstand to newsstand, local delis, local. My favorite place was a local Tiamo, it was called, a local smoke shop. And I used to torture the guy that ran the shop. He spoke broken English, and I would go in probably every day. Hey, any new magazines come out? Any wrestling magazines? And he'd be like, no, please. I will let you know when they come in. Stop bothering me. So I would torture all the local newsstands because there was no internet. You didn't know kind of what day magazines came out or when they were released, and how to kind of keep track of that stuff. You literally just had to physically go. So me and my friends would ride our bikes everywhere and find the local magazines. And I remember you would never find them all in one spot. And I don't know how the hell the magazines were released back then, but I'd find a Pro Wrestling Illustrated in one spot, and I'd find, the Inside Wrestler in another spot. So it was always the hunt that attracted me the most. And one time, my local comic book store, I was a big comic book collector as a kid too. My local comic book store mentioned to me, hey, I know you like wrestling magazines too. We're going to get some old wrestling magazines. Would you and your friends be interested in that? And we're like, what are you like, Kramer? What? Of course are we interested? Of course we're interested. So it's like, yeah, I think we're going to sell them for $0.25 each.
Imagine.
So, we're only 10 years old. Even, try to rock, even just to get $5 from our parents to get some magazines is a lot. But a couple weeks later, we went back in, and he literally had rows and rows and rows of now this is probably 1985. He had all magazines from the 70s, and we were blown away. All Hogan Andre stuff from the 70s, Japan stuff from the 70s. So we were blown away. We bought almost everything we possibly could. We only had $10-12 between us, but we bought everything, handpicked everything. So that was a great experience I had finding magazines that I had never seen before.
Is there anything you that kind of surprised you from putting these rankings together of like, oh, this guy had been lower than I initially thought I was going to put him, or higher than I initially thought I was going to put him? Like, was there a big surprise when you're putting this stuff together?
Yeah, there was it's so funny. There was a lot of stuff. I enjoyed putting the book together so much because it made me go back and read all these rankings and kind of enjoy myself, not just read it as a book, but read it as an editor and a publisher and a writer to kind of compile all this stuff. So, I was on Talk is Jericho a couple weeks ago, and Chris, a good friend of mine, and we were talking back and forth, and he was even surprised, which did surprise me as well, that he was the #1 wrestler. And I think, let me just go back and double check the years. I think it was 2009. And then that was his first one. And then again in 2019, we had him listed as #1. So he was blown away. Not only that it was so late in his career, but, we even looked at like live on the air. We were looking it up. He was the only wrestler that really did that milestone 10 years apart.
Yeah.
So it was fun to see that, obviously Flair dominated those early 80s years. And then Hogan, didn't have as many as I would have thought. That #1 spot, but I enjoyed like the managers and the tag teams and stuff like that. So many tag teams that I had forgotten about over the years that, never really hit #1, maybe never champions, but were kind of always hovering on the list. And it was just fun to go back and see all those old rankings. So many wrestlers that don't get their due today. Abdul the Butcher was on the hated list every single month. I had to put him on the cover with the fork. It was one of my favorite, things ever. Hogan and Andre and Jimmy Snuka was one of my favorites growing up. He really got me into wrestling. I remember seeing it on WWOR TV, New York, Channel 9, Saturday morning. The first thing that I ever saw when I wasn't a wrestling fan yet. This is what made me become a wrestling fan. I saw this guy being interviewed, kind of heavier guy, muscular still, but being interviewed by this really platinum blonde guy. Didn't know who they were. Turned out to be Don Morocco being interviewed by Buddy Rogers on Rogers Corner. And then this magical guy comes out from behind the curtain, dressed in all this island gear, built like a Greek god. Turned out to be Jimmy Snuka. And if anyone remembers that segment, Morocco got offended that Snuka came out during his interview. They confronted each other on the ring apron. Morocco proceeded to spit on Snuka. Snuka lost his mind, as only he could, and tore Morocco's clothes all the way down to his underwear. And, little 10-year-old me was hooked for life.
So you mentioned about, Flair dominating the 80s and only Hogan having only a few years in there. So that made me want to ask, like, what went into the criteria for these for this list? Because I don't know if you know this, but I consider myself a list maker myself.
Oh.
So I criteria is always the most important thing to me.
So listen, the rankings weren't as hard as, because as well as the rankings every year. So like, this is like 1987. And I made it look like an old school wrestling magazine.
Oh yeah. The cover's fantastic.
The way
it's
it looks.
great.
So
Yeah.
not only am I doing the wrestler rankings every year, but I'm listing the champions as well. So the champions were a much harder thing than the rankings, because the rankings, 9 times out of 10, I was literally just compiling from the rankings from the magazines. The champions were much harder because the champions, as you know, didn't have one champion any one given year. The champions kept changing over. And as we got closer to modern age, champions were changing 20, 30 times a year sometimes. At least back in the 70s and the 80s, we'd have maybe 2 or 3 a year. So it was a little easier to compile. But what I basically did was I said, okay, who had the most significant title reign that year? And it didn't necessarily mean the longest. It didn't necessarily mean the best. It mattered, I kind of built in who remembered stuff from that year. And of course, it's going to be a little biased because I was more of an 80s, 70s, 80s, early 90s kid wrestling fan. So I was a little biased towards some stuff. But, compiling, the WWF, NWA, AWA stuff, like the 3 big federations back then were easy. Because, the champions weren't that hard to decipher. But then when I got into WCCW, Mid-Atlantic, even Stampede and Portland and UWF, and they're all listed in this book, it became a little bit more difficult because I wasn't that familiar with those territories growing up. So I had to do a little bit of research and try to figure out, okay, whose title reign was significant enough to say, okay, this was, Portland, 1987, Bryan Adams was the most significant title reign that year. So that kind of was a very difficult process, and it's all up for debate. That to me is the fun part of books like this, right? I would love you to read the book and say, hey, dude, email me and say, hey, dude, why the hell did you put, Rip Oliver and the Assassins?
We're gonna invite you back on for that one.
And that's what it's about, right? That's what I love about these rankings over the years. Debating your buddies, yelling at each other. No, this should have been, that should have been. So, of course, people are going to be mad at me. Even the center of the book, I kind of built my Mount Rushmores, if you would. I built 70s, 80s, 90s, tag teams, masked wrestlers, mic workers, technical wrestlers, hardcore wrestlers, a little bit of a Mount Rushmore of each of those categories. And as we all know, those are the biggest debates in the industry.
Have you had wrestlers message you and be like, why am I so low here? Why am I not higher?
Yeah, I was on Busted Open a couple weeks ago.
Oh, we don't like them. Nah, we can't mention them. Nah, boo.
And Tommy Dreamer was yelling at me about some of the picks, and he was glad he was in the book here. And they was like, wow, how did I not make this list? And how did I not make that list? And And Bubba emailed me a couple times since then. So yeah, listen, it's fun to debate. Jericho is always busting my balls about certain things. And who the hell is this guy? I've never even heard of him before. I'm like yelling at him, oh, you should learn your wrestling history. What's the matter with you? So listen, that's what it's about. It's about the fun and the bickering. And I was talking to Jericho on his show, how these rankings meant so much to them too back in the day. Like the wrestlers lived, but they had to see what the rankings were about. And then even when I talked to Bill Apter about it, because Bill was a big supporter of the book too, because it kind of, it highlighted all of his magazines. I was talking to Bill. I'm like, hey, Bill, how did you come up with the ranking? Because he was the one who basically came up with the rankings, all the 70s and the 80s. And he was like, listen, the same thing happened to me. Wrestlers would yell at me at the end of the next month. And why the hell didn't you put me here? And it was harder for him because he was doing it in real time and the wrestlers were yelling at him. So I definitely didn't admire what he had to go through.
That sounds awesome. I have a question to something that you answered earlier, because you talked about the Jericho story that he won Wrestler of the Year or number one in 2009 and 2019. Was he also a Wrestler of the Year in 2008? Because he should be.
I don't think so. Let me see where he was in 2008.
We're gonna have a debate right now. Then
tell me why he should have been in 08.
Tell me who it is, and then I'll tell you why.
So 08. I have Triple H as the Wrestler of the Year.
What? What? Okay, so this is why I asked about criteria, because I may have to ask the outlets that you quoted, because 2008 I can understand from a kayfabe perspective why Triple H would be number one, because he was WWE champion for a lot of that year. I think he wins it at Backlash, and he holds it all the way through from Monday Night Raw to SmackDown. Had the long rivalry with Jeff Hardy, and then he doesn't lose it until Survivor Series of that year. But when you talk about who was the best wrestler, who gave the best quality, who had championship wins, who had the best matches and feuds, it's Chris Jericho in 2008. That's when he does the heel turn. He has the whole rivalry with Shawn Michaels, the whole world title run at the end of the year. Chris Jericho is the guy in 2008.
Well, his stuff with Shawn Michaels that year was incredible. Maybe this will help you. Jericho did get the most hated wrestler that year.
Okay, that's fair.
So, and listen, you're right. Criteria is not always, who had the 5-star matches, who had the best promo work, title reigns matter. I really believe, when, Triple H is holding that title for that long. I think he had to be, and Triple H got the second ranking in 2009 when Jericho wound up ousting him. So Jericho beat him in 2009, became the Wrestler of the Year. Triple H fell to number 2. So, yeah, and again, the hard part too about years, what part of the year did a lot of the stuff happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was always a hard part too for me. Like, when did this stuff happen? Because even if you really even look at the reason why I think Jericho got the 2019 one was, the AEW rise, right? But when did, AEW is it 2019? Is it right before that? It's when do you give him that title? I put him in 19 because I thought that, even though it was right after his rise, I thought that was the year that, he really, even though AEW was on the map already, Le Champion, all that stuff was really hot. So I kind of pushed him back one year, and that was a debate I had with him too.
No, I agree with the 2019 one. He definitely was. He was the key acquisition for AEW, putting on the map. So that was a good choice. I just had the question about, because you said 2009. I was like, wait, what about 2008? 2008 is his year.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, sometimes when I see, when I'm doing the rankings, and I'm like, God, how do I not? My own debate with myself was like, okay, what do I do each year? Because the way I listed it was, I did top 5 wrestlers, tag teams, most popular, most hated women, and then I did a rookie of the year every year too. I could have easily done top 10, right? A lot of the rankings back then, they did top 10s. But I said, I'm going to do a nice round number, 50 years, because then a lot of people are yelling at me, why didn't I go back further? I said, listen, I got to have some kind of, box that I live in. So I did 50 years. I did top 5 of all the rankings. So, we could have gone so much deeper. And listen, maybe there'll be a volume 2 where I go a little deeper. I go further back, but it's already 250 pages. It was an expensive book to print just because, like I said, I wanted it to make this look like an old school magazine. It even feels, I'll send you guys some copies. It feels like that old school wrestling magazine paper. It was a pain in the ass. I self-publish everything. It's on Amazon, only on Amazon available. So I design it, I self-publish it, I do all of that stuff. So it's so much going into the design work. The last thing I wanted to do is make a 500-page book.
Who was number one in 1996?
So if you had to guess, who would your choice be?
Hulk Hogan.
All right, so yeah, I was gonna say Hogan.
It's Hogan or
because
Michaels. For
definitely
me.
from
I'll tell you, Hogan's not even in the top 5.
Wow.
96
For 96?
Ooh.
Whoa, that's terms for debate right there.
All right, is it Michaels then?
Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Yep. Michaels is one. Here's the list I got. Again, I can't go back and see all my research, but Michaels, Giant number 2, Sting 3, Kenta Kobayashi 4, and Ahmed Johnson 5.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ahmed Johnson.
Big Ahmed Johnson fan here. Let's go.
And again, same type of deal, like same question. Hogan gets number 1 hated that year.
Okay.
Of course, right? Obviously, the turn and all that stuff. So
is he
Hogan,
in the top 5 in 97 at least?
No. I got Luger, Austin, Undertaker, Dallas, and again Ahmed Johnson.
Wow. Ahmed Johnson's barely there in 97. He gets injured in the summer.
Hogan is second hated behind Bret Hart in 97.
I respect that.
Fair.
I respect
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I respect
Hogan not in the top 5 either.
And listen,
of those
Hogan
years,
is my
though.
all-time. Look at my shirt. I got Thunder Lips on.
Yeah.
I was at Madison Square Garden to see Hogan beat the Sheik. So listen, Hogan is my guy since I'm 8 years old. So, but I know Hogan's wrestling. I tried to take everything into criteria. It wasn't just the heel turn. It wasn't the popularity. It wasn't, people always never put and this was built from, this is not just my opinion. This is Apter's magazines kind of showing this stuff. I don't know if Apter was ever a big Hogan mark because of, Apter was a big wrestling in-ring mark. So, it's kind of where he listed stuff. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Still Hogan not top 5 though. That's insane. I feel like for those 2 years.
Oh, listen, Hogan was everything to me. I got out of wrestling early 90s for a little while. And then, Hogan's heel turn turns me back into an uber fan. So trust me, I get it.
Who was
right.
And then every year too, I have like a little recap of the year too. It's not just rankings, like 97.
I know there's a lot there.
Yeah, that book is so well done. But I know you just mentioned like you put it all together and self-publish and everything. It looks so good. Like I just got to give you kudos on that.
Yeah, really.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a labor of love. I love doing this type of stuff. It's my passion. I love building things that have never been out there before. You know what I mean? I have, and I don't know if you guys know this, I have a wrestling YouTube series as well. I'm an actor. I'm a musician. So I created this series called Wrestling with Joey Licious. It's basically a quasi semi-scripted comedy based on my real life. I always wanted to be a wrestler growing up. I was a really big kid, stopped growing when I was about 12 years old. I'm about 6 foot now, about 185, but I was that size when I was 12. So everyone thought I was going to be the next Andre the Giant. So I always wanted to be a wrestler, especially being in a big Hogan market in the 80s. And it just never went my way. So this series is kind of like a what if I went that route, never made it, always struggling. So I got tons of, and I started this series a little over 10 years ago. Had Jimmy Snooker on, Roddy Piper, Mick Foley, Jake the Snake Roberts, the Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov, Jericho. All these guys were on the show. And it's basically, they appear to me in my imagination to give me advice that never turns out good. And they're little 5-minute episodes on YouTube. Check it out. It's on my YouTube channel. It's super fun. By the end of the episode, Piper's giving me the sleeper. I'm out cold. Tito Santana's giving me a flying forearm. You know, it's just slapstick comedy fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
I have another question. What was the most surprising number one from any year in the book?
Great question. Jesus, I don't know. Looking back, I'm trying to. I mean, I will tell you, it surprised me a little bit. The early '80s stuff. Listen, I know Flair was be all end all. Same thing with Hogan. Hogan barely gets up to number one. You know, 80, 84. You know, Hogan wins the title. Flair's number one. 85. Flair's number one.
First WrestleMania.
Flair's still number one. Hogan's number two. 86. Flair's one again. Hogan's two. 87. Hogan finally gets the number one spot. And I think that's his first
WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, 3, yeah.
But it's his first number one. Hogan is the face of wrestling. You know, Rock and Wrestling is all over MTV, the cartoons on all the wrestling figures. He doesn't crack the number one spot until 87. And then he's gone again. Macho takes it in 88.
That makes sense.
Flair back in 89.
That also makes
Sting
sense.
in 90. You know, Hogan's nowhere to be. Hogan comes again in 91.
Wow.
So
I
again,
really like that.
And then same thing with you, dude. When you realized, when you were like, Hogan, well, how can Hogan not be in 96? I agree. You know, how is Hogan not more at the top spot? You know, then at the back again, I do the same type of debate. I do a 50 greatest female wrestlers, 50 greatest tag teams, 100 greatest wrestlers of all time. Now this is probably, when you guys get this book, this will be the biggest debate. So top 10, here's who I got at top 10. So make your viewers lose their mind. They'll probably go crazy yelling.
I'm going to kick you off if number one is not who it should be.
Well, it's probably not going to be. So this is, I got Hogan at 1. I got Flair at 2.
Okay.
Andre 3. Bruno 4. Macho 5. Stone Cold 6. Undertaker 7. Rock 8. Dusty 9. Harley Race 10. That's my top 10.
Wow.
Okay,
start the debate. Who am I missing? Top 10.
Well, Bryan Danielson should be number one in everything.
Oh my Lord.
So based on what I can make of the criteria on that, I'm not fully mad at that list. Undertaker top 10. Now that's a little egregious there.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm not a big Undertaker fan. Never was. Never got the gimmick. Never cared that much about him. But just for who he is and what he did in the business, to me, he's got to be top 10.
I feel like you can't put Undertaker in the top 10 unless Shawn Michaels is in the top 10 as well.
Michaels is 11.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd swap those two at the very least. Yeah, I can't put Undertaker top 10. But based on, again, what I can make of the criteria of that, I can see how that is the top 10. Oh,
and again, of course, it's not in-ring stuff. It's not just in-ring stuff, right?
Yeah,
it's obviously impact. To me, it's like impact on wrestling.
Right. And that's why, I can understand why that top 10 is the top 10. I still can't put Undertaker in the top 10 though. What
do you got? Top 5 best tag teams. What do you got?
It's kind of same criteria of like impact criteria and everything. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Road Warriors.
Road Warriors.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Express.
They're number 2.
Okay.
Midnight Express.
Midnight's number 5.
Steiner's,
I got at 6.
Okay.
Ooh. Heart Foundation.
Foundation is they're lower 11.
Yeah, I didn't think
Hardys?
they're gonna be top 5.
Hardys are close at 7.
7, okay.
So I think you're missing number 3 and number 4.
Yeah,
Number 4 is probably very debatable because I don't know if they're considered just a tag team. I got the Von Erichs in there.
Okay.
Ooh,
all right. I'm not mad at that.
Great shout.
And
great shout.
3,
I like that.
3
Fabulous Freebirds.
Freebirds are up there. Freebirds are 12. 3 you should have. There's a big one you're forgetting. Held just about every title ever.
If it's the Dudleys, we're
Tell me, how could the Dudleys not be top 5?
How much time you got?
I love it.
We do have a super chat asking to rank your top 5 Jericho moments. Do you have a top 5 Jericho moments?
I mean, God, there's so many. He reinvents himself. So if no one knows my relationship with Chris Jericho, I had a TV show called Z-Rock. If anyone has never seen it, Chris Jericho guest starred on one of the episodes. It's a hilarious episode. I actually play that Joey Licious character that I talked about before in this episode. Jericho comes on. I play this uber Jericho fanboying out. It's a hilarious episode. It's on my YouTube channel. You can get it on the Roku channel too. This show aired on IFC in 2009, 2010. But that's how I met Chris. Over the years, we became super friendly. I've played on his Jericho Cruise many times. I'm a drummer. I play in his band Quarantine from time to time, that Kiss cover band that he does. So Chris and I are really close friends. Top 5 Jericho moments, just because I'm spoiled and I have to put that Z-Rock moment of when I acted with him at number 1. It's my favorite moment.
Yeah.
By the end of the episode, I break his ankle. I put him in an arm cast. It's hysterical. So that's my number 1 moment. But God, there's so many. His WCW stuff was so good. God, who was the fat guy that would come out with him all the time?
Rufus.
I mean, the stuff with him was so good back in those WCW days. I put that up there. I mean, the list is so good. The list of Jericho is so incredible. The friendship with Kevin Owens stuff, that stuff should have been the top draw that whole year. That was so incredible. There's too many to name. All the stuff he's doing with AEW when he first became champion, the La Champion skit backstage was just, it was put AEW on the map, all that stuff. So he's someone, and he's number 15 on my list, and he gave me shit for being number 15, but he's so up there with so many of the greats because he's everything. He's all those guys we talked about rolled into one. He's got the in-ring work of Bryan Danielson, but he's got the legacy power of Undertaker and Hogan. And the mic work of Austin and The Rock. So he's one of those guys that not many of them, Flair's probably up there too, that have a little bit of everything. So, I can't say enough good things about him.
Joey, we appreciate you joining us here today. We got to have you back, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
We got some more debates, I feel like. On this.
Well, once you get the book, I'd love to come back and we'll yell at each other for an hour.
Yeah, for sure. Look, this link never changes. If you're bored one morning and you're like, hey, I just want to talk some wrestling and argue with people, you're more than welcome. Just pop on whenever you would like.
Love it.
So yeah, the link never changes here. Let everybody know again where they can find you at, where to get the book, and anything you want to plug.
The book is Wrestler Rankings. You can search it on Amazon, or you can just search my name, Joey Cassata. It's available on Amazon right now. Check it out. It's a great gift for dad, great gift for your son, great gift for mom, whoever wants this. It's a fun book. I call it a bathroom book. You can throw it in your bathroom, kind of rummage through pages as you do your business. It's a fun read. It's not a read where you got to sit down and consume 500 pages or 200 pages at once. Grab it on Amazon. Find me on social media, Joey Cassata across all platforms. And if you're interested in that stuff I did with Jericho on Z-Rock, check it out on my YouTube channel. All that stuff's on there.
Thank you, Joey. We appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, boys.
Thanks, man. There you go, Joey Cassata. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know
get that book.
I want to make sure we get some copies of it because I do want to have them back to debate some of these things. Dudley's at number, what was it, three all time?
And the Hardys are underneath the what? Impact.
Undertaker top 10. Come on now. Now that's the thing about this better than anybody. SP3 like lists they're all subjective. It's all fun debate stuff, and it doesn't sound like
I always say if you can get one person that completely tears apart your list, that means you got one person that cares about your list.
Yeah. Yeah, like it doesn't I think Dudley's a number 3. It was Road Warriors were 1, Rock and Roll were 2, right? Yeah. And I think Dudley's were 3. But yeah, you know how it is with lists. It's all just fully debate, and it doesn't sound like this is not a knock. This is how I am. Like it doesn't sound like he takes it too serious of like, no, this is the end all be all. If you disagree, like you are completely
he's
wrong.
very open. He's doing this the right way. You should always be open to people that are going to disagree with you.
Yeah, so I appreciate that as well. Is like he is open for the discussion. But yeah, I didn't know what to expect from that. When I was like putting it together and I was searching and just trying to find more information, I did see like he was a drummer and he did like rock and roll stuff. I didn't know
his face is familiar. Like once he popped on the screen, I was like, I've seen him before.
So yeah, I did not know what to expect with that because I'd never. I looked into some stuff, but I did not watch those videos, although it does sound very fun. Some of those wrestling videos he was putting out. So I didn't quite know what to expect. But it was a whole lot of fun. I'll try to get us some copies. I told him the same thing, like the cover of the book and everything. That was a draw for me. Legit. I was like, damn, this looks really cool. And the fact that he put it all together and stuff. And then we saw like the inside of it, how it looks. Like it looks really, really good.
It took me back. It took me back to those times. Like I said, he sold me once he said, I'm from New York and I used to go to magazine spots. I was like, you just described my childhood. That's all they used to do. Just go to
25 cents for a magazine. Could you imagine nowadays?
Those were the days.
You can't get anything for 25 cents nowadays.
Even when I was a kid, they were like at least like $5, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was like $4.99 or something. You get a little gumball that loses its flavor after 2 seconds for 25 cents. That's all you can get nowadays for that much.
Yep, pretty much.
Right. Let's get back into Dynamite because I do potentially have to wrap right at 12. Yeah. So gotta kind of get through things. We talked about the opening segment. MJF won the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet. Really, really good match. Second best match on the show to me. MJF is now the OTC, which is the most hilarious thing in the world. He's the one true champion.
One true champion, OTC1. Very good matchup. I thought that those 3 guys went out there and rocked it, fast paced, just all nonstop action. Like the little story in the matchup of MJF trying to school Nick Wayne, but also trying to cheat him out of the win at the same time. And I love that at the end, Nick Wayne talking shit when he hits him in the stomach after MJF taught him. He's like, you hit him in the stomach so they lose the air out of their body. And then he punches him in the stomach later on the match. He says, thanks for the tip, jackass. He jumps and goes for the Wayne's World. I was like, yo, these guys are good. These guys are really good. Speedball was great as usual. And I like the finish, MJF taking advantage of the other two kind of being focused on one another and getting the win in the end. And a good promo after the fact, even though I don't think MJF should win the Casino Gauntlet. Because like I said, I think I said this last week that he has the triple B. So there is a level of that doesn't make a lot of sense when he says, I'm going to win the Casino Gauntlet to get the AEW World Championship, but I'm also the one true champion in the company. There's a level of that doesn't make too much sense logically from what you're saying.
Wait, say that again.
Basically, by saying you're the one true champion, you should not be in a Casino Gauntlet to get a championship. You're the one true champion. Right. You don't need to be in the Casino Gauntlet to win the championship because you're already the one true champion. So which one is it? So if they're trying to have him come across as someone who says he has come across like this in the past as a character, someone that said something but feels another way, I think they just have to make it more overt.
I just feel like he wants to do an OTC thing and just that's it. I don't think this one true champion thing. I mean, it has some legs, but like with CM Punk, obviously it went nowhere because everything happened. But there was at least the claim because he did not lose the title. He got into a backstage fight and got suspended, and so they had to go elsewhere. So maybe you could get into a unification match at some point. Obviously, we never got there because 2 months later, everything happened. Like we saw MJF lose, like he lost. It just feels like, I think Mike, if you say like, it just feels like he's poking fun at Punk and Roman, and he's like, "This is the bit that I've decided to do." right now. I don't know if it has like real legs to it, because
I think he wants it to culminate in a unification, a title versus title matchup.
yeah, I'm with you though. Of if you're in the Casino Gauntlet, you don't need that title shot to cash in at any time.
Yeah,
It's like you're just the one true champion. You would think, let's say Ospreay wins it all in. I think that's what we all expect. But even if Kenny wins at all in, you would think like whoever the champion is just basically gets sick of being like, what? Shut the fuck up being the one true champion. Like, no, let's settle this. You think you're the champion. I know you're not the champion. Let's do this. And this is basically how MJF heel works himself into a title match, a title rematch. And like, I'm okay with that. And that's how you settle it. But yeah, it doesn't feel like you really need to be in the Casino Gauntlet to get to that point.
I understand the reasoning of why they're doing it. They're using the MJF Andrade feud to elevate and make the Casino Gauntlet seem bigger, which it is doing that. It feels like it's one of the bigger matches on the card at All In, and also it feels like this could be like the most star-studded and biggest Casino Gauntlet so far. So it is doing the job that it's supposed to be doing. So I'll give it that. I could just be like, I'll just throw my hands up and be like, I don't agree with everything going on here, but I understand where we're going.
A couple of things. King Pate says, I hope he comes out raising his finger in the air. He already the pinky with the ring and everything. That's the raising. There does, Greater Than Heart mentions, there is a small risk that you get OTC chance on AEW.
But that's why he never needs to say the acronym. He never
for
needs to
sure.
say it.
And I don't think he will. But people are gonna put it together.
I don't think wrestling.
Wow, SP3 calls wrestling fans stupid that they can't put
I don't. I honestly don't. I think y'all are giving wrestling fans way too much credit. And I say that as a wrestling fan. Like, what do you want me to say?
That's the end of this clip. I'm gonna clip the whole conversation of the MJF OTC stuff, and it's cutting right there of you calling wrestling fans stupid and then just not backing it. Like, yeah, they are. MJF.
What I'm taking it back for? Like, that's what I said.
MJF having just a Samoan in his corner for no reason. Like, he doesn't acknowledge the person at all.
Someone comes out in a hood. Someone comes out in a black hoodie and helps him.
I feel like fans would hate this, but it popped me to death, and that's all I care about.
Someone in a black hoodie helps him. He says, Las Vegas, appreciate me.
I don't know if we need to go this far with it, but I'm for it if he does. I think that would be hilarious. Now, I want the black hoodie person, like, they're not acknowledged.
Yeah, they're never acknowledged. It's just someone helping, and they never reveal who the one person under the black hoodie is.
They never reveal it.
And then it's a different person every time. But you don't know when the reveal.
WWE did that gimmick already with the black hood stuff.
No, the thing with WWE is they have someone in a black hoodie, and they usually will reveal who it is. You have multiple people helping them in a black hoodie, but it's like a different person every matchup. So then when the reveal happens, you're just revealing one person, but it's like, who was the other person? Because that person was much bigger than this person. Okay.
Hold on. Luis has got this here. It's a
yarmulke.
It's a Samoan. It's a Samoan though, just because fuck it. It's a Samoan, and after every match, they just place the yarmulke on MJF's head. But instead of a Jewish person, it's just a Samoan.
This is awesome. We just booked this whole angle for him.
Maybe Joel Pearl can get a job.
The Jula Fala is, I think it's semi-racist. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I can't say that. Yeah, this is why we need Joel. Joel can say these words.
Joel gave me permission to say Jew. I can say Jew and Jews because it's just a descriptor. It's not a insult. Unless I'm referring to an actual person. I can say it in reference of not referencing a particular person. That's what he taught me.
AEW fans would hate this shit so much, but I would love it, and that's all I care about. Like,
Absolutely.
this would be hilarious to me. And we have an angle for MJF on Ring of Hallucinations.
Absolutely. Whenever MJF comes on in the weeds, it's a wrap. We're pitching this.
Oh, next time, Tony's on the show, we're fully pitching Ring of Hallucinations to him. I didn't get a chance last time. You know, it was more.
It was a charity stream. I think that's why. I mean,
yeah, I didn't want to piss him off on a charity stream. Be like, hey, here's what we're doing. But next time, I don't care. MJF OTC stuff's hilarious. It's so good. It's so good. We had Continental Cup matches. Jay White, who's a cruiserweight now, beat David Finlay. Why is Jay White doing Hurricane Ranas and topes and all of this stuff?
He's done that before.
Jay White doing a Hurricane Rana? I'm sure he has. But
Yes.
Jay White, bless him.
He does more of that stuff when he's a baby face, which is all been in AEW.
Look, bless him. Jay White felt like he was moving different in this match, and I'm okay.
He had something
I'm okay
to
with
prove.
that. Yes, exactly.
He had something to prove after redemption.
Yeah, we said that yesterday. Of like, yeah, they're gonna go out there and they're gonna tear the house down because they're like, yeah, we ain't getting sidelined again after redemption.
Yeah, he came out motivated. They had a very good matchup. Just the crowd was so weird. I never like to say, a crowd was very WWE coded, but this crowd was very WWE coded because it was the same two guys that would later say, Sasha, I love you. We need you back. Were the same guys who were starting the David Finlay, and everybody else in the arena is like, let's go Switchblade. And these two loud motherfuckers right by the crowd mic are just saying David Finlay literally for the first 5 minutes. That it was distracting. It was literally distracting from the matchup.
Zeno was 100% on the crowd.
That was definitely Zeno and his only friend.
I'm sure Jay White has done these moves before. You know, my match recollection's terrible, but he was definitely moving different. Whether or not he's done those moves before or not, he was wrestling like rent was due in this match.
He was.
Yeah. I did love the finish with the counter into the Switchblade. I've said this.
That was so good. I love when he hits the Blade Runner like that. When he just goes right into it. It's no one does that move quite like Switchblade.
No, it's so good. And I've mentioned this in the past, but he's such a good counter wrestler. Like all of his counters look so good, and that's one thing I just absolutely love about Jay White. So Jay White,
one of the best counter wrestlers like ever.
Yeah. Jay White advances, and then in the other Continental Challenge Cup, the C3, Jon Moxley defeated Jack Perry.
They cooked. I can say this now.
Respect.
And I can talk about this matchup, how great it was, because I know I won't be able to at 105 because it's two people that Jimmy Macaram hates. But this is a preview for AEW.
We go big Jack Perry this year.
I'm gonna call Jimmy out if he try to tell me this wasn't at least good, because this was great. They went out there and told a brilliant story. Jack Perry overcoming the odds, fighting from underneath, bleeding, showing some heart, showing some tenacity, showing some will, and the crowd getting behind him. This was the one match on the show that really felt like the crowd was invested in the matchup. And these two guys went out there and they stole the show. They had the best match on the show, one of Moxley's best matches since probably the Takeshita match at Revolution for me. Even though I thought the Bandito matchup at Forbidden Door was great, but probably his best matchup since Takeshita, because Jack Perry went out there and had his best TV matchup since the Kenny Omega World Title match back in 2021. It's been 5 years since we saw a Jack Perry match this good with this type of performance. This was the underdog babyface that so many people back in 2019, 2020 were saying, Jack Perry, he's a future world champion in this company. He's one of the pillars of this company. That was the performance he gave us last night.
We've been saying it, SP3. Ever since he turned back babyface, we've been talking about how good Jack Perry is as an underdog babyface. And he's had good matches throughout this babyface run, especially like in the C2 and everything. Like he's such a good underdog babyface. And this was like the culmination of the underdog babyface performances for him against Jon Moxley. Very proud.
Even though I will give Jimmy some clearance if he had one complaint about the matchup, because it's probably the same complaint I have. Moxley never do ground and pound ever again. that shit when he does and he pauses before he lays down, dude. I'm just like, you just took me out of the fucking matchup.
Well, I
was really into this fucking matchup until he does this awful ground and pound where he doesn't want to hurt the guy. Really, oh god, I hate that shit so much.
But
to be fair, it wasn't the worst offense on this show, because definitely Kevin Knight, Chris Jericho, and Don got the worst offense on the show. But we'll get
that was an homage to Will Ospreay. He was showing like, oh, hesitate. Oh no,
Ospreay lays this shit in. What Moxley? I would never debate. I would never debate anyone who tells me Jon Moxley has some of the worst forearms in pro wrestling, because they really are bad. They really are bad. Like literally, Jack Perry was no selling them and made him lay his shit in. Later on in the matchup, when they went face to face and he hits him with that weak ass forearm and Jack Perry no sells it, so then Moxley throws the next one and you hear it this time because he threw that shit in. Dude, you gotta throw that shit in every time. Stop pump faking with your shit, man. Don't throw a forearm if you ain't gonna lay that shit in.
Cam is here. Cam, I have to leave at 12, so if you are more than welcome.
I shouldn't even be here. Like we have 50 students waiting because we had a meeting, and my team, we take care of the real business. I shouldn't even be here. So no, I'm leaving before you leave. But
okay, well, I'm ending the show at 12. So
number one, my favorite player of all time retired.
It is very sad.
I don't know if sad's the word. But my thing about Russ is he was amazing at what he did, and the things he couldn't do, he didn't care. He tried them anyway.
Yeah.
I love that. Fearless.
It's sad. It's sad for me as a Thunder fan, simply because like it truly feels like the end of an era. Like I know that era is over 100%, but those are the big three: Russ, Harden, KD, and now one of them is just completely gone. And it's like, oh, like the beginning of my Thunder fandom is now gone. The player I identified with to start my Thunder fandom is now gone. Like that's why I'm sad about it.
Was Joey Janela here earlier?
No. Joey Cassata.
Joey Cassata.
Yeah, Joey Cassata. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have a running joke with Joey Janela that we're going on a double date because I need Rose to see his girlfriend because we've hung out before, and I was like, Rose, you gotta understand, Joey moved different. He's a capable man.
He's a rizzer.
Looks like a meth head. His own girlfriend will say that, but does not do meth. Does not do crack.
You got the juice. You got the juice.
You got the juice now.
So, I really just came on here to tell a quick story because the arrogance in me. I was looking at something yesterday and I was on YouTube doing the Googles. I never realized that you clipped the story I told about me and Ricky watching Cowboys and Commanders.
That sounds like something I may have done. Sure.
Yeah, long time ago. So I have not seen him in months, right? Because he works Fridays now.
Yeah.
And it's a weird schedule to where he's never here on the weekend. Because he works Friday, then he goes, he'd be at like a vineyard or some bullshit, or sitting on an island with his shirt open on the weekend, right? But then yesterday, I told him, I texted him like 3-4 days ago. I said, Rick, I really miss you. I haven't seen you. I hope we can do dinner or something soon, right? So yesterday, he texted me and he was like, yo, he texted me a link to a party. And he was like, it's sold out though. He was like, you think you can make it happen? Made it happen. So Ricky and I were at a wine bar filled to the brim with beautiful Black people listening to R&B. And you know, for every he is, he's very low key. But you should have heard the DJ. We got a superstar in the building, y'all. WWE legend, Ricky Saints. And yeah, this is nice, and it was very cute, and it was very fun. I'm just reminded that this thing that we do, it has its light moments, and it was just a very, very fun night. It was fun to see my friend, and man, I just when we're not setting up chairs, we should all be better with each other, for each other. And also, I need to tell you guys, yesterday's episode? One of the best pieces of media I've ever experienced. You two were perfect. That was very, very, very good.
I think that's every episode, but thank you.
This guy. Thank you, Cam. I know it was mostly for our Nicktoon and Disney Channel conversation.
It's love to the both of you, but you a little bit more SP3 because Jeremy, what the fuck?
That's racist.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
My brothers, be safe, be well.
Appreciate you,
doing what you do. All right.
Later, Cam.
Have a good one.
I told Tony Khan all I do is ask great questions. I can tell Cam that's every episode.
That's every episode, Jackie. The way you said it, the delivery was on point. Got to give you that.
I mean,
was excellent.
I'm okay at this sometimes, you know.
Really good at this.
I actually think Cam was talking about the episode that when we did the bloodline football thing, because he was in the chat and he was like, you guys are on one today when we were doing the football bloodline thing.
Yeah, that was Tuesday.
Yeah, that was Tuesday's episode. Yeah, I clipped that actually.
Nice.
I apologize for my thumbnails. I'm doing the thumbnails this week, and they are way different than Joel's. Yeah. I'm like, I don't think they're great, but I'm proud of them. You know?
I don't think they're great, but I'm proud of them back.
I'm not good at like the photo stuff. I'm just.
Hey, this is why I passed the buck to Romeo on True Hill because I'm like I'm not good at this. I did a couple. You can see it on the True Hill Heat channel. I did a couple, and I was just like, nope, never again, Romeo. This is your forte.
Yeah, Cam is saying it was the bloodline football stuff. You don't have to apologize for anything, Cam. But I remember you in the chat that day and just being like, you guys are on something today when we were having that conversation. I don't think my thumbnails are great, but I'm just trying to, trying to make shit happen.
You're doing well. The women on the show, they got their matches announced at 5 p.m., so you knew how much effort was going to be put into it. Chris Statlander beat Viva Van in about a 3-minute matchup that was still 50-50. That's more Chris Statlander more than anything. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like Chris Statlander is just too giving as a performer. They give you 3 minutes. You should just squash the person, please.
That match went on at like 9:30, and I knew there was still Moxley and Perry in the women's tag match, and I'm like, all right, so this is about to be 10 seconds, and then it went over 10 seconds. Like, what the fuck are we doing with this?
And it also had Viva Van having a bunch of offense in it, so I was just confused. I was like, what are we doing? But yeah, that was for Statlander to get a win because she's going to be in a fatal 4-way next week for the TBS championship against Maya World, Hikaru Shida, and Persephone. So that was made, and then Persephone and Hikaru Shida came out to intimidate her, and that led into Maya World and Thunder Rosa picking up a win over Persephone and Hikaru Shida, with Maya World pinning Shida. So I guess this Maya World run is over.
I was surprised that Rosa didn't take the pinfall here. It's like, hey, here's 3 people who are
honestly
going to be in the title match.
I was okay with that, mainly because Rosa was the best person in this matchup. I don't know if anybody else was paying attention, but Rosa's back. That's what it feels like. Like the last couple of times she's been on AEW television, and then if you watch her CMLL stuff, she feels like it took her 2 years to get here, but she's finally back. It feels the closest that she was to like 2020, 2021 Rosa again.
Yeah, Sheeta might I don't know. I don't know about
Persephone was really good too. Persephone was really good as a heel in the matchup too.
We had Kyle Fletcher and Okada backstage. They're doing the triple threat at All In. Don Callis loves Kazuchika Okada, and Kyle Fletcher is not a fan of this romance.
This might have been my favorite segment of the show.
It was really good
because Callis is incredible Carnizo.
Yeah,
like he was on Carning mode extreme, talking about playing golf with the boss, and he said a former AEW international champion hasn't got a title shot. He's like, Fletcher's like, I have to face Takeshita again. He was like, yeah, but not exactly, because there's another international champion who also didn't get a shot. And then that's when Okada comes in. He was like, so, I know you're saying the Don Callis family's got a 66% chance of winning, but I think if you guys work together, we got 100% chance. And I was like, and then Okada with the Don Callis family, the international title will stay in the Don Callis family. And Fletcher's pissed and he walks away, and Callis is like,
and Callis go high five, and then they were doing Tiger Woods handshake out here. Tiger Woods with his caddy.
My favorite part of the whole show.
It was fantastic. Okada is so good. Okada is so good. We did have Chris Jericho and Kevin Knight. It was a match, and of course, all anybody is talking about is that god awful spot.
I'll be honest with you. I thought the match was very good until that spot.
Yeah,
I think Jericho's doing some of the best work that he's done in AEW. In the 7-year run he's had in AEW, I think this is some of his best work since he's come back. He's been very consistent and giving us really good matches, and the match was going along very smooth. I would have even said it was a great matchup if it wasn't for that finish. That finish, oh my god! I understand Callis came in too soon or something, but Jericho choosing to just say, "Oh fuck it, I'm just gonna walk over in the wall, Jericho. I'm gonna walk over so I can get hit in the head with the screw." That was just dude, fuck. I was pissed. I felt like Tony Khan backstage. Fuck. I can't go on in the weeds and Ramble tomorrow and Jericho being good. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know what Jericho was thinking on that. I get because Callis, I guess, was early, or Jericho was in the wrong position regardless, and so
I think Jericho.
I think he was too. Yeah, but at that point, if you're Callis, just get in the ring. But Aubrey was looking too close there. It was all off.
Bad.
Yeah, and then Jericho walking over to the ropes made no sense.
Even worse. Even worse.
Honestly, at that point, you're better off just breaking the hold and trying to go over to where Callis is, and then Callis hits you with the screwdriver, and the referee's distracted because Kevin Knight's pulling on.
But King Potato, I know he said earlier he doesn't think it was Jericho's fault because he said you can see Jericho screaming no at Callis, so it seems like Don went in too early. You have to. Why is Jericho not by the ropes if that's the spot you're going to do? 1.
Yeah.
2, how the hell is he supposed to get there if he's not in that spot? It's all Jericho. It's definitely Jericho's fault. It's not Callis. Callis you could say Callis went in too early, but Jericho was not in the right position when he went in too early, so did not matter.
Yeah, I think
there's no logical reason for Jericho to be that close from the ropes when he put the walls on in the middle of the ring. So that's on Jericho regardless.
Yeah, I think Jericho was in the wrong more than anybody here because Callis had to. If Callis is going to hit him with the screwdriver, he's either got to get in the ring where the ring position is, or Jericho's got to be by the ropes. So it's on Jericho to be in the right spots. Somebody screwed up. Somebody screwed up.
But we now know Knight will face Darby for the TNT
Falls
Championship.
Count Anywhere.
Falls Count Anywhere. That should be great.
Darby's
this card,
gonna do some dumb shit.
This card, dude. This might be the best AEW
Strong.
show of all time. Like the Omega Ospreay, the triple threat for the international title, Mercedes Willow, Copen Cage versus the Bucks, the Casino Gauntlet with MJF, Andrade, Speedball, Ciampa, Commander in them. Then you got the C3 final might be a Moxley and White. So like there's no there what is the filler or what is the bathroom break matchup? Because if you want to say Divine Dominion and Brawling Birds, if they give those ladies 10 minutes and just say go out there and kill it, they will have one of the best horse fight women's matches of all time.
Yeah. No, it's a super strong card. I haven't loved the build to everything, but on paper, it's really, really strong. Anything else from Dynamite? Because unfortunately, I have to wrap quickly.
I know. The Mercedes attack, that was short to the point. I would have done something a little bit more angle heavy. If this is like the big angle, you needed a big angle on this show for one of the matches, and I thought it was a missed opportunity with Mercedes and Willow. I think they could have stood out on the show if they ran a big angle instead of basically a 2-minute pre-tape.
Yeah, it aired. Mercedes posted it before the show, and then it just aired, during, which is fine. But most people saw it before that. The feds were out. Yeah. Mercedes saying they got feds here tonight.
Yeah, they always bringing out the feds to watch us. That was a good tweet. Good tweet.
Mod Revolve saying Leon Slater in the Casino Gauntlet. Let's go. Possible. Honestly, it is. Yeah, no Cope, Cage, and Bucks on this show.
No,
which was
and it's confusing because there's nothing announced for them on Collision. So are we just gonna go a whole week with no build for the tag team title? I honestly, because Collision was taped last night. So they'll probably do like a pre-tape for that, right? Maybe.
Or they just weren't there because, since it was taped, like why wouldn't you? Yeah, you would have to be there and if you're there, you'd probably put them on Dynamite considering who it is. So that's one, like, I think it's going to be a great match, and the build so far has been good, but taking an entire week off feels a little...
It's a choice.
Yeah. And then still no Thekla as well.
The Thekla absence is the one that's the most worrying for me, even though I feel like if they go the route of what we've been talking about with Thekla versus someone from Stardom, that only needs like a 1 week build.
You don't need
you just need Thekla to come out, say she's taking over, start talking trash about Stardom. Kyrie debuts, says I was in Stardom much longer, I represent Stardom more, I'm going to shut you up finally at All In. Book.
Yeah, you really only need her on like that Dynamite before All In and just be like, I'll fight one of you dumb bitches at All In, show up, and that's that.
Yeah.
You really don't need much if that's what they're going to do. Now, if they're just going to do a women's casino gauntlet, because we talked about that 4-way for the TBS title.
Yeah.
And that's just next week now.
So we don't know if they're gonna do another women's match. What match? They're definitely gonna do something with the guys that were in the trio segment on All In. So that's a 9th match on the card. I would only think they would add like maybe one more match to the main card and then maybe some buy-in matches.
Nah, this is about to be an 8-hour show. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm gonna be there, so I'm totally fine, man. I'm good. I might not stay for the post-media scrum, but
as always, I don't care how long the show is. This will be an early show. As long as it's wrapped by a certain time, I'm good. Because I have no problem with the length of the show. I have a problem of when the show ends and all the stuff that goes into it afterwards. That was Dynamite, everybody.
I'm here tomorrow, so we will preview G1.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
And we'll do best matches tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well. Yeah, we'll do all that stuff tomorrow. What was your moment of Wednesday, though, SP3?
My moment of Wednesday, honestly, it was Jericho. It was Jericho walking over to the road. It was everything Don Callis. Why is Don Callis involved in the Osprey Omega segment? Why is Jericho walking over in the walls of Jericho so Don Callis can hit him in the head? And then Don Callis being a fantastic carny in the backstage segment. Don Callis was the star last night, and my moment of it.
I don't know if that's a good thing if Don Callis is the star of the show, but that's fair enough. That's fair. My moment of Wednesday was my GOAT, Jack Perry, doing what we all us jack-offs knew he was capable of, and that's putting on the best performance of the turn. That's right. Yeah, we're jacking off here, SP3. Yeah, SP3's finally jacking off on the show.
I'll be jacking off with you. Someone's gonna clip that. That should be great.
What did we accomplish today, SP3?
That last one.
Yeah, SP3 and I jacked off together. I don't think there's no bigger accomplishment than that. We did get a super chat from Meet Enormous. I did not miss it. Westbrook broke the Wizards' career triple-double record in one season. No rings, but he had a Hall of Fame career. Half tea and lemonade is my go-to. Can't do half tea and lemonade. Yeah, I didn't get to talk about too much of Russ, but when Cam popped on, I mentioned a couple of things. And like, dude, that dude's my favorite player, Thunder-wise, of all time. So no one just brought energy, excitement, entertainment like him. Like, you can say what you want about the criticisms. It's very hilarious that now everyone's like, man, Russell Westbrook was so great. And all these same people called him Westbrick for so many years. It's like, shut up. Like, shut up. I think his game and his reputation is going to age very well. Was he absolutely frustrating? Yes. I went through 11 seasons of frustration with Russell Westbrook. And there were times where I was like, oh my God, what is this guy doing? But his MVP season was the best regular season for me as a Thunder fan. Didn't win a championship, unfortunately. You know, I was always hoping he would. Certainly had shots to do it, but no one provided just more entertainment, excitement, energy than Westbrook. I've been watching highlights and clips and stuff since the announcement yesterday and just remembering all of those moments that he gave me as a fan. And that dude was one of one, like just from on court, off court, everything. Just an absolute legend.
Russell Westbrook will go down as I would say like a top 15, top 10 point guard of all time. One of the greatest NBA MVP seasons in 2017, averaging a triple-double and taking what would have been like a 20-win Thunder team to the playoffs. Russell Westbrook is someone who's had, a very interesting career. I think that he became kind of in the consideration, in the conversation as the GOAT Thunder player. And there's still people today that think that he's the greatest player to ever wear a Thunder's jersey. But he kind of became a journeyman in the second half of his career. And, I hold some type of resentment towards Russell Westbrook because LeBron James chose to tear apart our team to get Russell Westbrook when he was never going to be a good fit for the Los Angeles Lakers. But there's no denying Russell Westbrook's impact on the NBA, his impact as a player, what he was able to accomplish as a player. And I said a bunch when he was kind of in his prime, especially during the MVP season. No one had embodied the Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality quite like Russell Westbrook right after his retirement. So I always will appreciate Russ for that alone.
I don't think people understand like the actual impact of Russell Westbrook and how actually like beloved he is, because the media was certainly just like, this guy is a terrible to play with, a terrible teammate. Who would want to play with him? No teammate outside of Durant after he left and proved his bitchness no teammate has said anything bad about him. Every teammate is like, no, this Russell's the greatest teammate ever. Like, he always stuck up for us. He always gave me advice. Like, no teammate ever said anything bad. This dude got Taylor Swift to send in an MVP video after he won. Like, that's how much love he had. Michael Jordan inducted him into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. Michael Jordan went to Oklahoma to induct him into the City Hall of Fame, the State Hall of Fame. Like, what? Michael Jordan got no reason to be to Oklahoma. Come on now. Like, but that's how much love and respect that Michael Jordan has for Russell Westbrook. Like, all the legends have love and respect for him. Again, was he a pain to watch sometimes? Yes. I watched plenty of moments where I was like, what is he doing? Still love the guy. Like, nobody played the game like he did, for better or worse sometimes. Nobody played. And dude, the entertainment aspect, like, I still remember that game against the Warriors when we actually had a team with Paul George and Carmelo Anthony, and we beat them, and he's hyping up. He's doing the Hogan ear cup to get the crowd hype and everything. You remember the Lakers, or not the Lakers, the Clippers after they beat the Nuggets after they beat the Clippers when the send they ass home thing, and he got the tech for hanging on the rim. And so, like, dude, the dude was just a legend. Again, on the court, off the court. Your favorite NBA meme, Russell Westbrook, is part of, by the way. Nothing. Yeah, it's so good. I rewatched that clip. Y'all tripping. I can't say the middle word, but y'all tripping. He's hilarious, dude. The eating Skittles on the sideline, like, just so good. So good. Shout out to Russ. Retired his way, did everything his way. Absolutely. Again, love that guy. All right, SP3. Let everybody know where they can find you at.
On the Twitter machine at True Hill SP3. I will be live at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time with Jimmy Macaram reviewing last night's AEW Dynamite, which I'm sure he will give a thumbs down to, and he hated last night's show.
SP3 will be back tomorrow. We might talk about, I've been doing this and now I have to do it very quickly. It's going to get like 2 views. So, because I clipped the Dynamite preview and you called that Swerve was coming back, which is very good.
Nice.
Different segment, but you still called it.
Nice. Yeah.
But I'm going to try to start doing this of the preview, since there is a show every single day. Thursday's the least important TNA.
Yeah.
But let's quickly run down TNA if you have anything.
God, I know. Do it.
Yeah. Moose is set to speak.
Jeff Hardy is going one-on-one with Nick Nemeth for the TNA
It's
World
a taped
Championship
show.
after their riveting contract signing, where Nick Nemeth complained like a nanny who has to wait online with one of her kids for way too long for the bathroom at a public park, as Jeff Hardy drew his symbol in front of him quietly and didn't say a word the entire segment. That is the big draw for tonight's episode of TNA Impact. That is my Impact preview.
Do you think LeBron shows up?
Kozone? You never know. Like, he's really out there, you know?
Knockouts television title tournament. And the preview should just be I spoil everything. And then I put that up. How many people
After
in the comments
show
will be mad? No. I'm putting this up right now. Like, I'm going to clip this and put this up right now. TNA World title match. Nick Nemeth beats Jeff Hardy. TNA Knockouts television title match. M by Elegance beats Indy Hartwell. Order 4 against, I got to remember who the hell wins some of these matches, because I don't actually remember a few of these. I'll skip that one for right now and come back to it. Moose is set to speak. Him and Frankie Kazarian get a match set up for Lockdown. AJ Francis.
It's been announced.
Oh, is it? Well, they're pretending like it hasn't. So I don't know. Sure.
TNA for you.
Ricky Sosa and Brian Myers. This thing's taped so out of order.
Yeah,
I assume Ricky
not going to
Sosa
be the order.
wins.
Probably not even going to be on that show.
No, it's on this show. They've announced it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's announced for this episode. I assume Ricky Sosa wins. Let's pretend Ricky Sosa wins. Yeah, Ricky Sosa wins. Eddie Edwards, Casey Navarro. Casey Navarro wins. Order 4 against Rich Swann, BDE, and Trey Miguel is the mystery partner. And BDE, Rich Swann, and Trey Miguel. There's your Impact preview every week. That's going to be my bit every Thursday. Is we're going to preview Impact, and I'm going to spoil the show, except for the live episodes.
That's so mean to the actual Impact fans out there. All 3 of them.
3.
Maybe you're right. Maybe
Appreciate you, SV3. We'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, we'll talk maybe Impact. Definitely New Japan. Definitely best matches. Talk about SmackDown. Hopefully something happens in the coming hours. We'll have to talk about as well.
I'm going to see Odyssey tonight, so I'll probably spoil that tomorrow.
All right. Well, I mean, we've all read the book, right?
Probably not.
Oh,
I told you, wrestling fans are dumb.
That's the biggest thing we accomplished today is SP3 says wrestling fans are dumb. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good Thursday. Thank you to Labron Kozone. Thank you to Joey Cassata. Talk to y'all later. Cassata, not Cassata. Talk to y'all later on. Bye, everybody.